I'm Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times on Thursday, February the 12th. News in Arkansas today. Something of a slow news day. The legislature still meets, so there's always something to talk about. I'm interested in the contradictions presented by the Arkansas legislature. Today, for example, the Senate passed a bill that prohibits so-called telemedicine abortions. What this means is that the bill would prohibit doctors viewing on television a woman taking one of the pills that leads to an induced miscarriage in the early stages of pregnancy. It's not being done now. Nobody plans to do it now. Telemedicine's a good thing in rural areas when you're far from a doctor. In any event, they're going to outlaw this as a means of holding down abortions in Arkansas, or at least holding down options for getting abortions. This is at the same time the same body is considering a bill to, guess what, expand telemedicine in Arkansas because it's such a good thing for rural areas who are short of health care. We have other contradictions like that. I think I mentioned yesterday that there's a bill to give local option control on fluoride and water systems, but we don't want to have local option control on civil rights for gay people. Our senators in Washington today introduced a bill to give state control of where electric power lines are built across the state. There's a clean energy power line that's proposed for Arkansas that our senators apparently oppose. These same senators, you may remember, said we really need to build the Keystone XL pipeline across the Great Plains so we can take tar sands from Canada to refineries in Texas. People in Nebraska have been fighting this terribly, but the federal government and our senators have said, no, that pipeline must be built. We just have to do it. So local control really does boil down often to just who's getting gored. Guns are always popular in the legislature. Among the gun legislation considered today was a bill that was approved that will allow school districts to get licenses for their teachers and staff as security guards and so that they can carry concealed weapons onto campus. They've abolished the state board that licensed private security guards because there was some resistance under the old law by this board to allowing school teachers to carry guns. Even Governor Asa Hutchinson, when he was working for the NRA, while he wanted more guns and more security in school, thought that classroom teachers weren't the persons to do it. We have one school district in Arkansas that has a kindergarten teacher with a concealed carry permit. It kind of makes you wonder. The big news at the legislature was no news today on something that's bubbling, and that is an effort by the nursing home lobby to change the rules that govern how committees consider constitutional amendments so they can get around a roadblock to getting their amendment on the ballot in the next general election that will make it harder to sue for significant amounts of money when people mistreat patients in nursing homes. There's some good chance they can get those rules changed and get around a Democratic roadblock in the committee that sets constitutional amendments. Schools are a topic of great discussion today. The State Board of Education met. It removed a number of schools from the academic distress list. It talked a little bit about the Little Rock School District, which it just took over because of academic distress. It was interesting. The State Education Commissioner, Tony Wood, said he didn't yet have a plan for the Little Rock School District. We already know the superintendent of the school district said last week he didn't have a plan for the school district. They did remove the school board, which did have a plan for the school district, because they said the school district just wasn't moving fast enough. There's something missing here. They took off, they're prepared to take off the academic distress list, the Lee County School District is centered around Marianna, because it is barely over the 49.5% passing rate on state proficiency tests for its students. The Little Rock School District far exceeds that level for all its students, though not in some of its 6 academically distressed schools. People who are against the takeover of the schools are going to demonstrate at a State Board of Education dinner meeting tonight. Also developing on schools is the school district soon will have a Citizens Advisory Committee that will talk to the State Education Commissioner about what's going on in the school district in the months ahead. It'll be interesting to see if the composition of that district includes strong representation for some of those people who are unhappy about the loss of local control. Finally, we talked a lot yesterday about Robert E. Lee. Not much new to say, except we have an intern at the Arkansas Times, a student at Flanders Smith College, who wrote a moving essay about her feelings after watching a committee continue to venerate Robert E. Lee above Martin Luther King Jr. yesterday. She was at the Capitol and this committee met and made that decision. She was offended by what happened, and she wrote a really strong and touching essay. I'd recommend you go to our blog and read that, but also go to the Arkansas Times Facebook page and read some of the dozens of comments that have been made about her essay. There is some support, but there's also a significant amount of denial of slavery, of denial that Robert E. Lee is about anything but the Civil War, and not a little bit of overt racist remarks and use of epithets and writing about a young woman because of what she feels about what she saw. Anybody who says this issue is not about race, it is about race. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow.